What's going on YouTube? Langdon here with Arch Films. We got another movie to talk about. This one's called The Old Guard. It's the new Netflix original film directed by Gina Prince Bythewood and starring Charlize Theron. This one's been getting a lot of noise on social media and has been doing really well on Netflix so far and is quickly coming up into its top 10 most successful original films that they've released. So I've got a couple things to say about it, so let's talk about it.
Perfect.
Alright, so The Old Guard. This movie follows a team of immortal mercenaries led by Charlize Theron's Andy. They have survived centuries by keeping themselves hidden, and the movie kind of kicks into gear whenever they get set up and discovered by some bad people, while also discovering the existence of a brand new immortal. So they've kind of got two different things that they're dealing with that kick off the story. And so the movie kind of follows their journey to try and find the evidence of their existence so that they can destroy it, while also introducing us to this new immortal that's going to be part of the team. Some good things about the movie. Charlize Theron is great as usual. She largely sells her role as Andy. As you can see from movies like Atomic Blonde, she's always great when it comes to things like fight choreography, and that again carries over really well to this movie. A lot of fight choreography is solid, it's on trend. With some solid camera work, you can see what's going on, none of that 2000s shaky cam crap. And it's largely pretty effective and being really entertaining. The fight choreography is at its best when you get scenes of the team kind of working perfectly in sync. It's really cool to see like how, this idea of how well oiled of a machine can you have a team that's been working together for 300 years. And so that's a really cool concept that's definitely executed really well in the fight choreography. There's also some really interesting moments that dive into the really long history that these characters have together because they've lived for so long. That level of companionship that they experience because of this unique thing that they have to deal with, and how we inherently can't understand that because of our limited lifespans, is really interesting, and I thought largely was pretty well done in the film. The overall concept of these characters that can seemingly be killed and then kind of be reborn again is pretty interesting, and it's largely portrayed pretty well. The special effects are solid when it comes to, having wounds healing up. There's a scene where this dude looks like he took a shotgun blast to the gut, and so it's a mess, and it kind of like, you see things like sinews start to come together and heal, and it's pretty cool. It's a little gruesome, but I was glad to see that they didn't cheap out with those effects, because that could have really kind of pulled you out of the movie if you don't believe that kind of essential part of the premise. I would say there's still some unanswered questions at the end of the film as far as like some of the details of their abilities. It would have been helpful to clear up some plot things, but it doesn't really detract from enjoying the movie too much. So overall, I didn't find it to be a huge deal. So some not so positive things about the movie. We'll start with the thing that took me out of the film immediately, which was the music. My gosh, it's horrible. It's amongst the worst soundtracks I've heard. It is aggressively poppy and really tone deaf. So many different scenes where, it needed something that just lended more tension to the scene. Instead, it's playing some kind of B-list rap song that I don't even recognize. There are movies that do that kind of tone deaf music really well, particularly people like Quentin Tarantino. He does that very well, and it furthers the story because it is so far apart from what is happening on screen. It's part of his style. This did not feel like a style statement to me. It didn't make sense. Music is something that I can get past mostly if it's not too awful. Biggest problem with this movie is the script. The script has some serious issues. The whole premise of the movie is based on the idea that this team is highly effective because they've been working together literally hundreds of years. But we don't really see that. If I were to have written this script, you need some kind of setup mission at the beginning where you can see this team working like a finely oiled machine and working really well together, and start to go into the different character traits of these people that we're expected to care about. And that's the whole thing. We're expected to care about this team, and then eventually when the team kind of gets split up because of these kind of dual challenges that they're dealing with. I didn't really buy it because I did not get to know the team before they were thrust into this conflict. A movie that does this extremely well is the original Alien, directed by Ridley Scott. The whole first 40 minutes of that movie, it's all about setting up character, introducing you to all the different crew members so that you care when they later on die. And that's one of the reasons that that movie is so powerful, is because you have that time to care about the characters at the beginning. The Old Guard doesn't do that. It doesn't give you enough reasons to care about some of these characters. And so I think if they'd had, a setup mission at the beginning before it kind of got into the main conflict, it would have had a more natural build to the story. You would have understood more about the characters, and then it kind of could have kept, rolling and snowballing until you get to this big epic ending. And I think it would have the pacing would have felt more natural. Also, a nitpick. This villain dresses terribly. If you want to do casual businessman villain costuming, look no further than Lex Luthor in Batman vs. Superman. Perfect. Cool t-shirt, sneakers, like relaxed fit suit, stylish. He's got some swag, and that's kind of what they're going for with this villain. But then his clothes, it's not good. So my overall thoughts, I would say it's reasonably enjoyable. The script and character building issues really held this movie back for me. The music also frequently took me out because it seemed so tone deaf. But if the script was better, I could have gotten past that. But the script did not really do it for me. This movie is really at its best on these action scenes when the team is working together. The movie would have been better served if the script had been built around constructing those moments and constructing character before those moments, so that you care about what happens in these action scenes. All right, so since recording my Old Guard review, I changed my mind a little bit on my rating system and how that's going to work. So at the end of the day, I'm going to give the Old Guard an extra medium. I thought there were a couple of bright moments in this film that could have helped it blossom into a pretty compelling movie that was really good for what it is, a fun action movie that you should be able to just sit down and enjoy. But the script issues kind of really held it back for me, and it just didn't feel very consistent. So yeah, that's it for this one. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think of the Old Guard, and stay tuned for more content coming soon. Peace.